Good day, sir. I am Cherry Ann P. Mara, J2B. Rule number 13. Overtaking. Notwithstanding anything contained in the rule of Part B, Section 1 and 2, any vessels overtaking any other shall keep out of the way of the vessels being overtaken. A vessel shall be deemed to be overtaking when coming up with another vessels from a direction more than 22.5 degrees above her beam. That is, in such a position with reference to the vessels she is overtaking, that at the night she would be able to see only the stern light of the vessels, but neither of her side lights. When a vessel is in any doubts as to whether she is overtaking another, she shall assume that this is the case and act accordingly. Any subsequent alteration of the bearing between the two vessels shall not make the overtaking vessels a cruising vessels within the meaning of these rules or relieve here of the duty of keeping clear of the overtaking vessels until she is finally passed. Rule number 14. Head-on situation. When two power-driven vessels are meeting on a reciprocal or nearly reciprocal courses so as to involve risk of collision, it shall alter her course to starboard so that it shall pass on the port side of the other. Such a situation shall be deemed to exist when the vessel sees another or other ahead or nearly ahead, and the night she would see the masthead lights of the other in a line or nearly in a line, and or both side lights, and by the day she observed the corresponding aspect of the other vessels. When a vessel is in a doubt as to whether such a situation exists, she shall assume that it does exist and act accordingly. Rule number 15. Cruising situation. When two power-driven vessels are cruising so as to involve risk of collision, the vessels which has the other on her own starboard side shall keep out of the way and shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, avoid cruising ahead of the other vessels. Rule number 16. Action by giveaway vessels. Every vessel which is directed to keep out of the way of the another vessel shall, so far as possible, take early and substantial action to keep well clear. Rule number 17. Action by stand-on vessels. Where one of the two vessels is to keep out of the way, the other shall keep her course and speed. The latter vessels may, however, take action to avoid collision by her maneuver alone, as soon as it becomes apparent to her that the vessels required to keep out of the way is not taking appropriate action in compliance with these rules. When from any cause the vessels required to keep her course and speed finds herself so close that collision cannot be avoided by each action of the giveaway vessels alone, she shall take such action as will best aid to avoid collision. A power-driven vessel which takes action in a cruising situation in accordance with sub-paragraph A or I of this rule to avoid collision with another power-driven vessels shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, not alter course to port for a vessel on her own port side. This rule does not relieve the giveaway vessels of her obligation to keep out of the way. That's all, and thank you for watching, sir.